Good day, people of the earth. I've actually been getting a lot of great feedback on the videos that I've been making, and I really appreciate it. One of the biggest feedbacks that I get is, what do we do about this? A lot of people see the problems, but they do not understand the solutions. So today, we're going to be talking about the solutions. And all of these images actually come out of the public notice Lawless Authority at the end of the video, because there's so much stuff that I wish to say, but I just didn't have the audio time to say it. And in a lot of my videos, when I don't have the audio time to say it, I'll type it into the screen or do something else like that. All of my videos are meant to be read as well as watched. So as you can see in this image right here, it says write your local high clerk and ask if they have courts of law, not statutes. And the reason why the T is in parentheses like that is because it's actually statutes. And if you go back and watch Statute from Statute, Soulful Warfare, I'll explain that a little better. So, but basically, you have the right to due course of law and not due course of administrative procedure. And what they're calling a court of law, it's an administrative court. It's a court of administrative law, and they can get away with that if you allow them to get away with that. So, you know, this is just, hey, and don't just write the high clerk, also write the chief justice of the circuit or the county, whoever's the head of the administrative process for the judicial circuit. Also write the judiciary, like the chief justice of your state. And that would be the top guy on the Supreme Court of your state, and ask him the same thing. Do you have courts of law? Not statutes. I'm not talking about a statutory court. I'm not talking about an administrative court. I am specifically asking, do you have courts of law? Yes or no? And it's not a legal question, and we'll get to that here in a minute. So, the next thing that I would do, I'm not telling you what you should do, but the next thing that I would do is I would write to the state legislatures. And I would just ask them this one simple question. Do you have the authority to take away my rights? Because anytime that you go into a courtroom, they always say, no matter what they're moving against you, if they're moving a traffic violation or possession of some substance, or you did this and the state doesn't agree, they always say that, well, the legislature got together and they wrote this up for the public, and so here you're just asking the legislature, do you have the authority to take away my rights? Like, do you have that authority? And if you somehow believe that you got that authority, I wish to have it back. Because that is what a Republican form of government is. You can delegate that authority to representatives, or you don't have to. And you can keep that authority for yourself. And you just wish to know whether they are exercising that authority over you, or whether they do not have that authority, and get something back in writing, because that way if you get dragged into court, you can say, no, 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 you can't use that argument, I got this thing in writing that says they do not have the authority to take away my God-given rights. Okay, step 3, write your state governor and ask, can you sign statutes into law that take away my rights? Okay, because the way that the process works is the legislature creates a bill and they vote on it and they pass it by a certain percentage of the legislatures from around the state, and then that bill goes before the governor or the president, and they enact that bill into a statutory you're just asking him very, very bluntly, like, does he have the right? I mean, it's basically the exact same thing that you're asking the other people. So once it's passed as a bill, then it's up to the judiciary to actually see if it's constitutionally valid or if it's applicable within the premise of the law. The judiciary used to do a really good job of this back in the early 1800s. In my video, Trial by Jury at Common Law, it actually goes into some case law where the judiciary is actually telling the state legislature that the legislation they passed was unconstitutional because it gave the judiciary too much jurisdiction, power, and authority over the people who have the power and authority over the state. And you find that consistently throughout old case law. But new case law, you don't find that so much. Because I actually have experience with doing things similar to this, I can almost guarantee you the first answer that you will get back from these people. That is, and I have written here, when legislature writes you back to say this, but really this applies to the judiciary, this applies to the governor, this applies to all of them, so you can just take out that word legislature. Whenever they write you back and say, we cannot give you legal advice, ask an attorney, basically, you know, we're not your attorney, and this is legal advice, you go hire an attorney and take it upon yourself, because it's not our job to tell you whether we can take away your rights or not. When I get a document basically saying that they can't give me legal advice, or if they told me that they couldn't give me legal advice in a court of law, I would say no advice needed. Okay, I will move in law upon your answer. Like, I will move in law as soon as you answer yes or no, you have the authority to take away my rights or not. Because there is only one way to move in law. When somebody believes that they have the authority to lord over you or rule over you. You guys can be imaginative about what that way to move in law is. That's it. That's all you have to do. They will definitely get the hint. If one or two people are doing this, they're gonna brush it aside. If 1,000 people start doing this, 3,000 people start doing this, 10,000 people start doing this, 1,000,000 people start doing this, they're going to take it very, very seriously. And those people don't only need to do this and write to their legislatures and their governors and their judicial officials, they should also get connected with each other in their own communities and figure out how to be connected with one another in case things do go awry. We have to be here for each other because nobody's going to be here for us. And no one will be willing to fight for you and your rights and your freedoms if you're not willing to fight for others and their rights and their freedoms. So, anyways, you guys, I hope the public enjoys these videos. I hope you keep watching them, a lot of these videos, even if they seem kind of irrelevant to the basic topic of common law and freedoms and what law is. They are absolutely all entangled. So I would definitely go through and watch what you can, and also try and be very, very supportive of Henry Ramo. If you haven't gone and registered your email address at jcshamanandbaba.com, I definitely suggest that you do that. Anyways, y'all have a good day, have a great weekend, and I will see you people, you beautiful people of this wonderful place called Earth, next week.